issues? There's someone local you can talk to. Financial Coaching Radio with certified financial planner Jason Qualls. Weekdays at 4 on News Radio WGNS. The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Yep. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable Show with your hosts, Wayne and Rick. We come to you every Tuesday morning here at WGNS Studios in Murfreesboro. We try to handle things going on around here and try not to be too controversial. But good show just before it. I enjoy listening to our school members on here talking and getting the word out as far as what they got going on. But how are you, Wayne?
I'm fine. Good morning, Brother Rick. A little bit of a gloomy day, but May showers bring May flowers, I think was the term I always heard as a child. And so I hope you had a good weekend. I
did, buddy. I went to the Morgan Wallen concert, and wow. I know you went to listen to Mixtape with Alzheimer's of Tennessee benefit show. How was that?
The tribute band out at Hop Springs. The neat thing is they, as they're playing a song, they do the video from MTV behind them, and they basically sing along, except there's no sound coming out of the picture. But I was amazed how much these guys sound like the original artist. And I'm going, are they lip syncing? But they weren't. And but it was a great fundraiser for Alzheimer's Middle Tennessee. Miss Blanchard, who you and I've had several times on the program, does such a great job of organizing and sharing information on how to, I guess, deal with such a devastating disease for family members, and it's just glad that there's people out there that love their community enough to be 24/7, I guess.
Exactly.
So Teresa and I had a great time, and
Brian and I had a bet that y'all were going as Sonny and Cher. Did y'all dress up and go, or what?
We did not dress up.
Oh,
no.
Man.
If I was going to dress up, I would have been Chewbacca. I think it was I think the fourth. Let the fourth be with you, or something like that. So. I think I would have made a better Chewbacca than I would have a Sonny. I'm too tall for Sonny, so. But we did have a great time. So no chairs or anything thrown at Morgan's
Touch
concert?
and go there for a minute down in the pit. It got pretty rowdy, we could tell. We weren't in the pit, luckily, but Morgan Wallen made it through. He had court the next morning, so I think he was trying to be on his best behavior.
I don't know that I've ever... Well, I take that back. Elvis did 3 concerts here at Murphy back in the early 70s. I don't know that I remember anybody else locally doing 3 concerts. Didn't he do Morgan Wallen do
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? Yeah, there's been several.
I haven't? Okay. Yeah. I'm not a concert goer, but of course I enjoyed the ones out at Middle when I was there.
The Swifties, of course. Taylor Swift, she had her 3-night show that went on there.
Oh, did she? Okay.
I'm thinking
that would not be something I would listen to. So. But I am a Morgan Wallen fan. So, but had a good time. So, Rick, this morning, great friend with us, longtime servant of the county community. Has taken care of so many of our children, who's been under his guidance and administration, and as a teacher, and soon to be new school board member, Butch Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn, I'm in awe of your career as a teacher, as a coach, as an administrator, and it is certainly a pleasure and an honor for you to be with Rick and I this morning. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate the invite. You know, I guess when you get our age, you don't get a lot of invites, except funerals. And I don't need to go there, but yeah, I appreciate it. WDNS and y'all have, you know, y'all do a great service for this community, and you know, I think it's the greatest place in the country to live, and I think everybody else is figuring that out. The secret's out, and they just keep rolling in, which, I mean, I can understand why. And one of the main reasons is because great schools, you know, they're not going to bring these corporations in if the parents are not going to be happy with the school system. Certainly. So, you know, you were a former board member and made the, you know, back when the county basically started to explode. And so y'all weathered the storm. And it's, you know, it's a battle for the school system. But we're fortunate to have a great school superintendent. Yes. And Dr. Sullivan, and you know, I think he's well, I know he's brought the system together, you know, and he's really hired some great people, and the morale there is just over the top. And you know, when people enjoy what they do and enjoy coming to work every day, they're just going to work a lot harder for you.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. You know, I lived here, and education's been great to me. And you know, I went to public school here through the high schools, and attended MTSU, and ended up getting 3 degrees there. And my former teachers in high school probably turned over in their grave if they knew that I graduated from college once, much less 3 times. And for them to realize I was a school principal is, I know they'd turn on their grave about that. But you know, it's but yeah, I've been very fortunate, and I've had some really good mentors that I've learned a lot. And you know, I know to be successful, you got to hire great people. And you know, like we talked, I'm not a very smart guy, but I'm smart enough to hire good folks. And I've really been blessed with the people that I've been able to work with.
Talk about your early life, if you will, Mr. Vaughn.
I went to Hopgood Elementary, well, Critchlow Elementary School, and then Hopgood was a new elementary school. And so in the 5th grade, in the middle of the year, they opened Hopgood, and so I was, I guess, rezoned out there. And so Dr. Martin McCullough was football coach there, and he was my 5th grade teacher, and then he became my 8th grade teacher also. But he's one of the people that helped me to decide that education is where I wanted to be. And I mean, just the way he taught was just, you know, he wouldn't accept anything but your best. And, you know, he always pressured you to do that. And I went to Central High School, which was a really, really good time. And, you know, I graduated class, you know, got a lot of people that really did well. Butch Campbell is chairman of the city school board.
Yes, sir.
Mike Fitzhugh is the Rutherford County sheriff. So, you know, Andy Womack, of course, was in our class, and, you know, it was just, we just had a very, very good group, you know, we had a good time. I mean, you know, that's back during the time that, you know, people had guns in their back of their pickup trucks, and you didn't have to worry. You know, we didn't have any drugs, we didn't have any weapons. You know, wasn't anything like that.
Chewing gum was a big deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we.
I think his class beats your class, Rick.
We'll debate that on another show.
I mean, the worst thing you could do, we used to flip pennies, you know, just
Right.
and
Yeah.
match, and that was about the worst thing going on. Or every once in a while, somebody get caught smoking in the bathroom, you know. And yeah, it was a good time, and you know, we were made to mind. There wasn't any doubt, you know. But that's one of the things that, you know, parents were pretty much, all of us, you know, that all they had to do was to pick up the phone and call your dad, and I mean, you know, you learn to behave. And then I got to go to MTSU, and very blessed there, and started teaching school when I was 19 years old.
Really?
I graduated from high school when I was 17. My mother, they didn't have kindergarten back then, but I got a sister that's a year older, and she was going to school, and then I'd wear my mother out, wanting to learn what my sister knew. And my mother got tired of fooling with me, I think, and she said she put me in the first grade when I was 5. Anyway, I graduated, and back then it was hard to, there wasn't a lot of teachers around, and Mr. Baxter Hopgood was the school superintendent, and my mother was his secretary. So he had a teacher quit and just walked out with the grade book, the teacher edition, and everything. So my mother called me, and I was playing football at MTSU, and I got hurt and wasn't going to be able to play anymore. And so she called me and she said, "Would you be willing to do this?" And I thought, well, you know, I could do it for 3 or 4 days and pick up some money. And back then I didn't even have a car because, I mean, I was living in the dorm at MTSU. And so I thought, well, yeah, I'll try it. So the first day I went in there, I had no grade book. I didn't have a list of kids, nothing. I walked in there cold, and first day I never. A girl had an epileptic seizure right after lunch in my classroom, and I'd never seen it, and I thought she was dying. And so she was choking, and so I tried to, you know, open her mouth. I didn't know what I was doing, but she like bit my thumb off.
Oh, wow.
And that was right after lunch. And then later on that afternoon, there was a girl, I never will forget her name. Her name was Joanne Heath. And she told me that afternoon, she said, "I'm not going to do a damn thing you tell me to do." I'm thinking, this is my first day. Well, anyway, I take her to Mr. Underwood, who's the principal. And man, he bent her over a chair and gave her some of the hardest looks I'd ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I walk out of there, yeah, and I walk out of there and I thought, man, I'm not sure this is what I want to do. So I go home, I call my mother up and I said, "Mom, no, this ain't for me, I'm telling you," and I told her what all happened. And she said, "Well, you know, give it another day or two." And I thought, Mama, I'm not sure I can go through. Well, anyway, believe it or not, the next day it snowed, and it was a snow day. And so my mother called me, and she talked me into going back. And so I've been in it ever since I was there. And then I went to Central High School. I was a coach, one of the football coaches, and coached baseball there. And so then I went to Thurman Francis when Pusher High was there. He got me to come down, and so then I went back to Central Middle School, and I stayed there. And so Mr. Tenpenny was the principal, and so James Hale passed away, and so I was selected to take over as assistant principal there at Central. And then Mr. Tenpenny retired, and I applied and was named principal there at Central. And at that time, we were really, really a big middle school. but Mr. Tenpenny had started the mini school concept, and so we had a really good school. Boy, had great teachers, man. So when I took over, it was. I always said it's hard for you to be like a teacher and then become a principal with the same people. But I never had any trouble because the certain ones on the staff that I really depended on, and I'd ask their opinion and things, and so a lot of the decisions that I made came from them, and I valued my secretary's opinion, and I talked to my custodian some, because they were just everyday people, and they cared about kids, and they would tell you things, and then they were going to make Central a magnet school, and so I selected to open the brand new Blackman Middle School at the time.
Yes, sir.
And so, we opened that up. There were deer out there and turkeys. And wasn't hardly anything. I got to be involved with the construction of it the last few months. And so I remember going to work and there was nobody on the interstates, and just go out there but the school just exploded, and I was really lucky. I think I got to take 6 teachers from my staff at Central. So I got the same people, some of the best that I had.
Yes, sir.
And so, we were, we had really good school there. And then I went to Oakland High School, which was, people really thought I was crazy, but I was at Blackman, and it was running so well because there was such good folks there that, to be honest, I was just basically bored, because I really didn't have anything to do because it was running so good.
Yes.
And so I always liked a challenge, I think being an athlete and all, you want challenges. And so Oakland was, at that time, a challenge.
Yeah, that was prior to the International Baccalaureate, but you brought that in,
right?
Didn't you?
Yeah, we started at that, and again that we knew that we had to do something to bring in some really good kids at Oakland, because at that time it was there wasn't a whole lot of discipline in there, and we walked in the first day, and the first year we arrested 114 kids for fighting.
Goodness.
And drugs and stuff. And so anyway, but one of the best hires I ever made, I hired Linda Hodge, my secretary at Blackman.
Yes.
And boy, she was, every decision I made just about, I'd talk to her about it because she had such a compassion for the kids, and she'd keep me in line pretty much. And
she was Sergeant Major, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. But she ran the office. I didn't. And when I went to Oakland, I carried her. I heard her, I guess, at Central, and then went to Blackman, then went to Oakland, and she's still there at Oakland.
Yes.
But I had great SROs, which is I was involved with. We were the first school in the state, basically anywhere, to have the SRO program.
I did not remember that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and it was, and Bill West and Bill was the first SRO officer we had. We had to write the book because there wasn't a book on SRO how to SROs are to handle certain things, because they had to, anything breaking the law they had to deal with in school. So we were really worked together and basically just wrote the original book on that. But yeah, we had, it was such a great environment, and And then I was headmaster of Providence Christian Academy for 8 years. So, education has really been great to me. It's provided a good living for my family, and I've got to really work with a lot of really great people.
You've mentored a lot of teachers and a lot of students.
Well, the paddle in middle school, I say that, you can't imagine the number of kids that come up and remember the paddling they got in high school. But one of the best stories I always tell people, when I was at Central, we had a group of really, really good students. But there was about a dozen boys that they got together and got this idea that they wanted to take a lick. They wanted to see what the paddling was like, because none of them had ever been paddled. And so they came to me and said, we'd like to take a lick apiece. And so I thought, I said, we'll call y'all the Real Men's Club. And so they said, okay. So that's back when they wore those nylon pants. Just nothing to them, just those nylon.
Parachute pants.
That's what they were.
Yeah.
Well, I waited until all of them had them on one day. And so I carried them, and at the hall at Central, boy, if you paddled somebody, the secret to, took them to the hall. And then the echo up and down the hall would just remind everybody what it could be. Well, I'll never forget the first one. I lined them all up, and boy, the first one came up, and I used a little old short paddle. It's about a little bit bigger than a ping pong paddle. And man, it sounded like a rocket. And the old boy that I paddled, I can't remember who it was, but it stung so bad that, he wanted to cry, but he couldn't, because here's all of his buddies right here, and none of them could back out. And boy, they remember that. And if I told you who some of them were, you'd be Dr. Mark Hartson. I had to go see him the other day, and he was one of them, and we always laugh about it. And he said that's one of the worst decisions he's ever made in his life. But no, they were. We had a lot of great kids, a lot of great people, a lot of good memories, and you had some heartbreaks. You see some kids that just didn't choose the right path, and you just wish you could have done more for them.
Yes.
You listen to Butch Vaughn, retired principal of Blackman Middle, and several other, obviously, just their story right now, hats you've worn over the years. But it's 9:29. We're going to take our first break and be right back with you in just a minute.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to this year's block party in the city of Laverne.
It'll be at Veterans Memorial Park on Saturday, May 11th. From food trucks to vendors offering dazzling accessories, it'll all be a part of the fun. And don't forget the Touch-A-Truck event. This event gives children of all ages an opportunity to explore different kinds of vehicles while meeting the people who operate them.
Awesome.
Police cars, fire trucks, construction equipment,
military vehicles, tow trucks, semi-trucks.
Saturday, May 11th.
Come to Veterans Memorial Park, Lloyd Mayfield Drive.
Mother's Day is the perfect time to come to Bell Jewelers and pick out a very personal piece. At Bell Jewelers, we offer custom engraving, where we can take a sketch or drawing that your child has done, and we can scan it and put it on that piece of jewelry. Having that picture that your child drew enables her to wear the expression of your child's love. Come to Bell Jewelers, Northwest Broad Street, across from Toots.
Hey guys, this is Scott. If you're often feeling tired, notice a lack of motivation and drive, or weight gain and loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. I recommend Low T Center. It's where I get my levels checked. With their on-site lab, you'll get your results in about 25 minutes. Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office either. It's concierge medicine for men, and their physicians specialize in treating low testosterone with a customized treatment plan for each patient. The experts at Low T Center have over a decade of experience helping patients achieve life-changing results, and most health insurance is accepted for treatment. And at Low T Center, they have convenient treatment options, including physician-monitored self-inject treatment for established patients that ship directly to your home each month. Right now at Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your testosterone level tested. You'll get your results in about 25 minutes. So get back to your best. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. For more than 30 years, my team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. Over that time, we've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case.
Now, WGNS Good Neighbor Events. Saturday is the Postal Food Drive. Put bags of non-perishable food items near your mailbox this Saturday. Speaking of this Saturday, from 11 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, it's the annual Block Party and Touch a Truck event at Laverne's Veterans Park. Don't miss that one. And Rock of Ages starts this weekend through May the 26th at the Center for the Arts in Uptown Murfreesboro. And the final performances of Finding Nemo Jr. are over at the Art Center of Cannon County this Saturday. Performances at 2 and again at 5 in the evening. Those two final performances this Saturday at the Art Center of Cannon County. There are free computer classes at the Technology Engagement Center. That's a part of our Rutherford County Library system. Mondays at 3:30 and another one Tuesdays at 2:30 in the afternoon. For information about these free computer classes, get with the Technology Engagement Center. Give them a call or drop by. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor Events.
Rutherford weather.
We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times this afternoon. A blend of clouds and sunshine develops a high into the mid-80s. Tonight, chance for rain and storms, a low near 68. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 73.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. As a member of MTE, you have access to educational resources to help you tailor energy use to your lifestyle. Interested in electric vehicles? MTE offers incentives to learn about EVs and connect with others who share your interest.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
Hey, good morning and welcome back to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's been our pleasure this morning to have good friend and community leader and soon to be school board member, Butch Vaughn. Talked about the number of hats that you have worn in your education career, and you're getting ready to put on a new cap here 1st September. So
I got to where I was enjoying retirement, but yeah, you know, I don't know. I realized that we were very lucky to have a great superintendent, Dr. Sullivan.
Yes, sir.
And I know a lot of the people he's hired there at the central office, and they're just the best. We talked about Dr. Chastain, you know, that how great a educator and person she is. You know, he's one of the people, and all his, coordinators, elementary people he's hired are just very, very good, high quality people. And I've always had a heart for the kids, because I know that if we don't educate them, you know, the key to our future is our kids. And I just feel like, you know, that we're losing kids because of the way things are. And I wanted to help Dr. Sullivan and Sheila Bratton called me. We worked together at Central, and I had the utmost respect for her, and so she told me she wasn't running again. And so, I thought, well, this is probably the time, because I wanted to do it. And so I talked to some people, but I had no idea what it took to run a campaign. I thought you just put your name out there and let the people vote and all like that. But, boy, I had no idea about putting up signs and knocking on doors. And this early voting thing, they said you need to have somebody at all the early voting places to shake hands and hold signs up and talk to people. And I thought, man, we had three local places that were opened up. I said, I'm not sure I got 3 people that are willing to sit out there for 20 days, hold signs up. But luckily, we found, and again, you have to raise money. And, it was new. I'd never been involved with anything like that. Yeah. But I got to meet, a lot of really, really good people. And fortunately, we came out ahead. But, I don't know, I just feel like the school board, I think we've got a moral responsibility to our kids. Set up, when decisions come across the table that can affect the kids. The board has to set an example. If we don't set moral standards, how can we expect them to? And you got a responsibility about the tremendous amount of funds that people don't realize how big the school budget is for Rutherford County schools, and the amount of money it costs to build and to buy land. And we know that I know they've been struggling to buy land and find places for the Laverne area to decrease overloading down there at that high school. But it's just so hard for them to find land, and then if you do, it's going to cost you. I think the last contract they got in that they just basically withdrew was costing $56,000 an acre, and I think there's 112 acres. So that's, if you do the multiplication, that's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yes.
And the amount of money you spend to build schools, we talked about looking at other ways to build buildings. It's something we got to look into, because it just the cost, the way we're building now is just astronomical. And we've got to work with the county commission, because we can't spend any more than they can give, and then they probably have to set the tax rate. And it just I don't think people understand the dynamics of how everybody has to work together. The commission tells us, this is X amount of money you got, and they got to set the tax rate. Now, that's a very difficult and hard job, because they have to be accountable to the taxpayers. And as school board members, we got to be accountable to the kids and the parents, and to all the taxpayers also. So it's a partnership. We got to work, but we've got to look at other ways of doing some things just to cut the costs and keep it down, because it's just really spiraling out of control.
So many people do not understand the role of the school board member, because they don't realize that the director of schools is basically the CEO of the school program.
Right.
He hires, he terminates, he basically is the CEO, and school board members make the budget, they purchase land, they decide where to build buildings, and make policy. Can cannot tell you how many times school board members have gotten calls. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that.
Yeah, I'm realizing that. It's I think one thing I guess I always realized that one thing I think we were always fortunate to do. We were always able to work with parents, and that's parents. I always valued their opinions about what they wanted for their kids because that's the most important thing in their life, and we were always able to work together. There's just certain things, and I think that's one thing we need to do now is to work with the parents closely whenever we make these decisions. And I think it can be a team concept. And one of my goals on the board is to bring the board together to be a unified, to be a team, because I know good and well if you're not all on the same page and you're not working with the same goals, you're not going to be near as effective as you could be. And I guess that's one thing coaching teaches you, that, you got to have chemistry, and you got to have kids that play together. If you got somebody that wants to, their ego is more important than the team, then, it's going to hurt you in the long run. And, we got a big job, and, it's, if really and truly, if the reason you're there is not, if it's some other reason other than just helping kids, then you're in the wrong place, because that our kids are our future, and if we don't educate them, one of the reasons Murfreesboro and Rutherford County has been successful, and so many people are coming here, I think, because of schools. But the schools have educated people, kids, to where they can, a lot of them stay here and go to work for these places because the schools have prepared them for these jobs that are opened up. And one thing I guess I always tried to do is I would go to the businesses and corporations and try to find out, hey, what is it? What type of person you need, and what do they need to know and be able to do? And so I know with John Floyd, it was with the largest home builder in the state at that time. He was looking for a school to develop a construction corps because he was having a hard time finding people to go to work.
Yes, sir.
And I was wanting to, I knew there was a big need. There was a lot of kids that needed vocational opportunities. So we got together, and John built a construction corps building in Oakland, paid for every dime of it.
Wow.
And it was a great, great partnership. But that's the type of thing, and I think we got to, the Smyrna Ready Mix, the contributions they've made to Smyrna High School, I think that's one thing we got to do too, is to get the people in corporations and businesses in Rutherford County to get them more involved in schools.
Yes.
I think I've noticed that this last push with the state of trying to get us to get some impact fees, and I sat there one night, and we're approaching 55,000 students in Rutherford County on the county school system, and if you add Murfreesboro in there, that's another 17 to 20,000.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of kids.
There's 95 counties in Tennessee. There's only 20 counties that have more population of their whole county of what our school system is. So 75 counties are less population total of what our school system is.
It got students.
So when we were trying to push the impact fee, those senators and those state reps can't fathom the problems we're having here.
Right.
And our battles at the state, and it was unfortunate when our own state rep is one of our biggest opponents against us with that. And then we get legislation from a guy that has a total county population of 11,000 in McMinn County. So that's going to be our battle of our school board and our county commission and our residents here, is to get new state leaders in for you guys to help you fund for these kids. But
each county, I think, has their own unique problems. But it's hard, like you say, for somebody that has a total population less than 55,000 to understand the dynamics that we're fighting here. You know, the schools, the buildings, the roads, and all like that, you know, those have got to come from taxes.
Exactly.
And, you know, the impact fees are just not, they really need to be increased just to.
Well, I notice so many people think it's common sense that you would make a builder pay his way, but nowhere in government there's common sense, unfortunately.
I think that wasn't that long time ago.
It sure did. All right. Well, we're going to take our second break real quick. Okay. You're listening to Butch Vaughn, community leader and principal, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Yeah, I'll take.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
Online at rayburn.net.
In retirement, it's all about income. Your money, making money, and you're not spending down your principal. That's the way we do it at Retirement Income Solutions. So if you're spending down your principal or your money's not making money, keeping you ahead of inflation, check us out today at risolutions.net. risolutions.net. And make sure to join us Saturdays at noon and Sunday afternoons at 1 for Retirement Income Solutions Radio with Nathan Cox and Lindsay Cotter.
Spring has sprung, and that means it's time to start planning for your summer road trips. With Bud's Tire Pros by your side, your vehicle will be ready to see the mountains, the beaches, and everything in between. With Bud's Tire Pros' full line of Michelin tires and products, you'll have the peace of mind to hit the road no matter what you drive. Bud's Tire Pros is only 3.5 miles from the Murfreesboro Square. Call Bud's Tire Pros at 896-TIRE or online, Bud's Tire Pros, TN.com.
When severe weather strikes, we break in.
A tornado watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
The most up-to-date weather information.
We'll be here with you on radio and with Rutherford Weather video channels as we continue to track this storm. As it
Get 10-point details on severe and impactful weather in Rutherford County with Rutherford Weather.
A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
Listen to Rutherford weather updates on WGNS and watch on YouTube and Facebook by following at RUCO Weather. That's RUCO Weather.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2023. Save 60%. Code 2023. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And welcome back to the third and final segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's been our pleasure this morning to have Mr. Butch Vaughn, great friend, mentor, teacher, coach, administrator, lead principal, if you will, and now soon to take a seat on the Rutherford County School Board. So, again, welcome back, and glad to have you this morning.
I'm glad to be here. You know, it's education is so important. You know, a kid's success is a lot of it's based on the kind of education he gets. And I think Rutherford County Schools have, and Mercer City, they just got the best programs you can have that offers kids. You know, we were talking about the International Bachelor Art Program when I was at Oakland. We brought that in. I really couldn't. I didn't even know how to spell it. Of course, I wasn't a very good speller anyway. But you know, we wanted to find the best academic program in the world, and not just the country, but the world. And so we called universities Vanderbilt and Yale and Harvard and all those places, and every one of them said the International Baccalaureate Program. And they said any kid that rolls in here with an IB diploma, said they'll get a free ride. And boy, I thought, man. And so we went into it, and it took us a year to get it, to fill out the application, because, boy, it's a really, really, really hard process to get approved. And you have to use their textbooks. And you have to send your teachers that are going to be in the IB program off, and they train them. And when you do the exams, they're graded by international graders. And so that way the kids in the IB program are compared to the rest of the world. And so the kids at Oakland have done a great job of that, been really successful. But you know, but my whole theory was that the teachers I sent out there, I told them, I said, now, when you come back, I want you to train our teachers with the same dynamics, because there's something about what they're doing is just really outstanding. And so kids nowadays, anybody that's, if you even have an IB class on your transcript, it gets your attention, because it's first class. Again, we had to, it's a junior and senior program, so we had to design classes to get kids out of the 8th grade to come to Oakland, to be in the IB program. And so we designed to give kids an opportunity to just experience what it's like. The final exam is to write a 4,000-word essay on certain topics. And I thought, ooh. And, boy, I mean, you know, I was involved in a lot of that and got to see it. And, you know, we tried to teach the other teachers we had, what the great things about the IB program, and they could incorporate into their classes. But yeah, you know, I've been blessed to work for some great superintendents, and you know, we talked about Harry Gill. You know, Harry's a great friend, but I could never ask for work for a better superintendent than what he was, because he let us do what we need to do. And, you know, and athletic programs in Rutherford County, you know, athletics to me have been a big part of my life. And, you know, that gives kids opportunities too we talk about so many kids that went on, you know, to college because of athletics and were able to go and play, and you know, it just means a lot to them. But I think the thing that I'm impressed is the quality and the character of the kids, and that I got to be associated with, and all the teachers and administrators that I got to work with are just the best. And I don't have anything but great memories working with those people. And you know, the hiring of great people, you know, is a secret. And people used to ask me, you know, how do you? I'd go and talk and give talks at certain conferences and things, and they want to know this. How do you do that? And I used to, you know, the fruits of the Spirit in the Bible. that was my guideline. The people that checked the most boxes on that list was people that I tried to hire, because it told me that they had compassion, they cared about kids. And, you know, if a teacher doesn't love kids and care about them, if the kid doesn't know that, if they don't know that you care, it's not going to be as good a learning experience as it could be.
Yes.
And you know, we all look back and you think about that teacher or two that really made an impact on your life, and it's somebody that really cared about you. But that person loved kids. I mean, that's the reason they're in the position they're in. And you know, it's just I don't know. I used to lay away nights just wanting to know what can we do to help kids. And Dr. Sutherland, you know, the thing that's impressed me about him is, you know, he's got great ideas. And of course, you know, he has to fool with budgets and personnel and
commissioners
and parents, and you know, I don't know how he does it. And he's a great family man.
Yes.
You know, he's an amazing man. And but yeah, I've been blessed to work with some great folks.
And you worked for Mr. Watson as well, didn't you?
Right. Yeah. Helen Watson was. He was a pretty tough cookie, boy. I never will forget. We used to, he'd call us in when the test scores come out. And we had about 30 minutes with him. And all of us principals back then, you know, a lot of them are moved up to high school principal now, but we figured out that we had about 30 minutes with him. And we'd go in there and he'd say, okay, tell me about your test scores. And of course, the more that we burnt out of that 30 minutes telling him the good things, the less negative, because that's really what he was looking for. What is the negative part and what are you going to do about it?
Right.
That's really what he was wanting
What's your
to know.
action plan?
Yeah. But we knew that, hey, we blow smoke enough to kill that 30 minutes. Yeah, that would help us down the road. But yeah, he was, and he'd have all the principals in, and he'd put the scores up on and rank them. You know, and man, boy, you sat there and boy, you'd sweat come out of your brow. I remember he ranked all the middle schools, you know, and boy, if you was in the first 4 or 5 years, okay, but boy, if you was in the bottom part of that, I mean, it's embarrassing because all your buddies is in here.
Yes, sir.
And so yeah, that was that was pretty tough times. But you know, one thing too, Harry Gill, and I'll never forget this. One thing he did that really impressed me is we started having monthly meetings. All the middle school principals would sit together, and we'd all meet and we'd share. Back then, all those middle school principals, we were all good friends, and we wanted to see each other succeed. So things that would work, we would share it with each other, and things that didn't work, we would share it. You know, well, Bob Aker, Dr. Aker at MTSU started this program, you know, where you, the same principle, where you go in and share the ideas. Because, I mean, it helped all of us be as good as we could be. And that communication was just, it was so valuable, you know, and we were all pretty successful as far as our schools because of that. We shared ideas and worked together, you know, and tried new things, and Harry let us do them. And, you know, it made all the difference in the world to all of us. Anyway, most of us were rookies, but yeah, we used to have great meetings, and the high school principals did the same thing. And at that time, the high school principals didn't like each other as well as the middle school principals did. So, because they were more competitive, I think. You know, we were competitive too, but we wanted to see each other do well. But yeah, the think people need to realize the success of Rutherford County schools is the reason that Rutherford County's corporations, businesses have moved in here is because we're giving them a product that the parents of the kids that are employed by those corporations, this type of education they want for their kids. And MTSU has been a great help. And so, yeah, we're in a special place, and I think everybody else has figured it out too, because they're rolling in here about as fast as anywhere you can go.
Did we mention this before, Rick, that this is the 8th straight year that Rutherford County is the fastest growing county in the state? Have we mentioned that lately?
Oh, we haven't.
So, one thing about Harry was he was so big on collaboration. I know he started the the professional learning communities where teachers of the same grade in each school would get together through a half a day. Of course, as a school board member, parents hated that because they had to find childcare. But as far as an effective training or learning opportunity for professionals to do what you said you and the other middle school principals did.
Yeah, Dr. Aker had that, I think, basically started that concept. And we would force him because he lived here and still does. And so I hired his daughter, who's one of the best teachers I ever had. But he came to us, and we started the PLCs, professional learning communities. And Dr. Aker, he's nationally known now. Everywhere he goes, he's a rock star about the PLCs, and because it's shown success.
Yep.
But those collaborations, boy, I can't tell you how valuable they are.
Well, we're looking forward to watching you be on the Rutherford County School Board, and we're so grateful for all of your care with our community's children over the years. God bless you for your heart, and just wish you the best success leading this community, being on the board.
Well, don't change your phone number. Tell everybody that have meant a lot to me in education. I said, don't change your phone. Come in, I'm going to be calling you. And Brian's going to let me hide out up there at the new place, the new WGNS location. If things get really bad, and we'd love to have some of these. I hope I never come up here where they burn up the phone lines, parents, complaining about certain things, because
you won't have to worry. They have your home phone. It's published.
They'll find you.
It's published on the website. So,
best advice I ever got when I got on the county commission, it come from the Rocky movie. And, Mickey, as trainer, kept telling Rocky, you got to move. They'll kill you if you don't move. So move.
That's a good, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to take advice from all you guys, because y'all have been there and done that. Yeah. So I appreciate the invite.
Hey, thank you for being with us, and thank everybody for listening today, and we hope you have a good week, and stay vigilant with the weather coming up the next couple of days. I think today is moderate, but tomorrow's going to be pretty bad, but listen in to Brian, and he'll be able to take care of you and give you some great advice on that. But everybody have a great week, and we'll see you next week.